The Witch of the Forest. The scary witch who has appeared in many operas, cartoons, comics, books like Ever After High, the very common TV show that not only girls watch but boys do too. Baba Yaga, the opera. Disgusting but really good. Then Monstrous, the comic. But aside from her fame, let's take a peek into the backstory of Baba Yaga. This lady was created in the medieval period by the East Slavic people and the Russians. The term Baba means elderly woman or granny. Meanwhile, Yaga has no definite meaning, but does mean several Russian words, all related to the theme horror. It was said that she was the one who managed communications between the underworld, hell, afterlife, and heaven. They said she was more goddess than witch. Strangely enough, nobody knows that why now Baba Yaga is more witch than goddess. Visible or invisible? Baba Yaga is a tall, gaunt woman with skeleton-like legs. She has a long nose. No, seriously, a very long nose. It helps her sniff out her prey. Baba Yaga usually lives in the dense part of the forest. Her house is like a hut which stands on chicken legs, and it never stops spinning until Baba Yaga says the chant, little house, turn your back to the forest, your front to me." Her hut is covered with a fence, but not just any fence, a fence made of human bones. Which brings me to my next slide. Baba Yaga has been accused of cannibalism, but when you really think about it, which witch hasn't? And no broom for this witch. She flies around on a motor, using a pestle to steer her way. Odd. But what fact about her isn't odd? A very common Russian fairy tale, which portrays two sides of Baba Yaga, the good side and the bad side. Vasilisa the Beautiful. When Vasilisa was a young girl, her mother died. And in her deathbed, she gave Vasilisa a doll. She instructed, whenever Vasilisa was in trouble, to feed the doll and ask it for advice. Eventually, her father married to a woman with 2 daughters. And just like Cinderella, it was an evil stepmother. The evil stepmother and the 2 daughters were so jealous of Vasilisa due to her beauty that they made her do all the chores and try to tire her out. But every night, Vasilisa fed the doll, and the doll did all the chores for her. So every day, Vasilisa grew more beautiful. Meanwhile, the stepmother and the daughters grew uglier due to their spite. The stepmother got so angry that she moved into the forest where Baba Yaga lived. One day, when the 3 girls were working by candlelight, one of the sisters purposely blew out the candle, while the other instructed Vasilisa to go to Baba Yaga's hut and get a candlelight. Vasilisa was scared. She was scared that Baba Yaga was going to eat her. So she fed the doll and asked it for advice. The doll replied saying, "As long as I'm in your hands, nothing can hurt you." So fearlessly, Vasilisa went into the very deep part of the forest. When she finally reached the dead end, there was a huge hut with a fence which looked like human bones. When suddenly everything started glowing, she knew she had arrived. When she looked back, it was Baba Yaga in the flesh. She was so scared, but she bowed down and she recited her request. Baba Yaga looked thoughtfully and replied, I will give you your candlelight if you do 3 tasks. Vasilisa agreed. First, you must clean the courtyard, then prepare a feast for 12, and finally, make sure there is no speck of dust in my room. Vasilisa fed the doll, and it did all the work for her, except making a feast for 12. Baba Yaga told her that she was going to have a consequence. Vasilisa was so scared that she wanted to get out as quick as possible. She told, that's fine. So Baba Yaga gave the brightest skull she had. And finally, Vasilisa happily returned home. The stepmother and the daughters happily welcomed her because they had survived without candlelight for so many days. But as Vasilisa went inside the house, the flame grew bigger and bigger, burning her family into pieces. But eventually, the prince recognized her for her beauty. They married happily ever after. So, you see, Baba Yaga does have a good side. You just need to earn it. All of us are capable of doing good or evil. And it's our job to prevent us from doing evil. Now, a special feature. Baba Yaga, the terror of the dark forest. 63% of Google users like this film. The basic plot is a boy and his friends must save their infant sister from an evil witch who eats babies. Now, I'm going to share a small video, but if you are going home by yourself, I advise you not to look, because I'm definitely not looking.
Kids disappear, but nobody seems to remember them. Like, as if they were never here.
So who takes them away?
Someone they trust.
Thank you.